enter a 1v1 with a bot and you'll barely live through it, or you'll lose, or they'll start doing this really annoying thing where they keep dodging your attack just barely every single time. Put these scenarios into a team-based match and then everything becomes a real nightmare for you. You might end up losing, getting all 3 bots on you at once, while your teammates do nothing. To prevent this from happening, we'll be going over 3 main strategies, so you can stop relying on your teammates so much and pure dumb luck. Well, you might need a little bit of luck still, but you want to rely so heavily on your AI partners, who are very unreliable to say the least. Our 3 main strategies can be called traps, walls, and slow, steady, and thick. SST and traps are kind of the same thing, while walls are more separate, so we'll start with those 2 first. They both describe attack types. Traps are exactly that. Things you put down on the ground, that if enemy walks over to them, they'll take damage. This is probably the easiest out of all the 3 to consistently use, but it's also very, very exclusive to certain characters. Emperor, Y'shtola, maybe really like technically Garland's lightning attack, because it's just so slow. There's really not a lot of characters who can use this strategy. These traps have to be constantly active as well, so you can't use like Angelo with Renoa and expect it to work the same way. The AI in this game will constantly dodge to avoid damage. Rather than simply walk away or dash around you, they will always dodge if they're attacked, every single time if they can. Unless if they can't, then they'll guard. And if they can't guard, well, they'll figure something out. Maybe they'll attack you faster than you can attack them. Either way, traps trigger this dodge. If they get near a trap, they'll dodge away from it. It's a bit uncommon, but sometimes they just walk right into it, which is, more power to you, I guess. But most of the time, they'll just dodge away from a trap. Place down multiple traps, and they'll start getting confused with which trap to dodge. If you keep this up and the enemy cannot get far away from them, you'll be able to predict every single one of their dodges. Ergo, at that point, you just attack them with whatever you want, and slowly whittle down their health and bravery. You'll see the strategy used a lot in core battle guide videos, because then the enemies won't attack you, and you can just whittle down the core with whoever you're playing as. In an actual 3v3 3-stock fight, you'd be a lot more aggressive with your traps, rather than core battle where you just kind of place them around the core, near the edge of the shield, and then you just go to town on the core itself. Don't get too close when placing them or the AI will punish you with melee attacks, but other than that you should be fine. It's not very hard to learn. Slow, steady, and thick describes 3 parts of an attack that you want to have. I put them in the order that you're going to want to have the attacks. Slow, then steady, then thick. These are slower attacks that are usually used for spacing or timing. They usually sacrifice speed for tracking and size. The best example of this being Cecil's Tenebrous Blast, which is an attack that slowly pursues its opponent. As the attack itself approaches the opponent, it forces them to move. Not always a raw dodge, but at least forces them to move. I don't think I have to explain how important forcing movement is in this game, so we'll just skip over that, but we will go over how to use it with other strategies. By itself, it can force enemies into bravery attacks, melee or quick projectile. With traps, it allows you to reapply the trap, or maybe they'll walk into it, or they'll get confused by dodging between both of them and walk into one of the attacks. And finally, with walls, which we'll go over in just one quick little second, it can force them into a corner or next to a wall. So finally on to walls. It seems that if the computer senses any danger, they will try to get away from it and ignore literally everything else. This includes nearby enemies, nearby allies, and the stage itself. Rather than retreat or seek help like an actual player, they just try to get away from you. So if you get an enemy against a wall and you hit them against the wall, maybe HP attack them, you just gotta stay near them as they flop to the ground. There is a little bit of specific learning with each enemy, because their AI is a little bit different from each other, but it's not too different. For example, here with Cloud of Darkness, even if you're above it in the air, it'll never use this projectile on the ground. So I just kind of stay above it, wait for it to do its melee attack, and then punish it with my own. Bart's AI loves using its unique EX skill the second it gets a chance to, so now I've noticed that a minute has passed in the fight, so I know he's going to use it right now. Your success in this category will be varied as you learn the AI at each level, but it's not too hard to learn. Also, by learning the enemy strategies with each character, you might even come up with your own strategies that I didn't cover in this video. If you do, post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Tell me how these strategies went for you if you tried using them against a bot, or if you're just kicking bot ass and you don't really need help. Well, why'd you watch this video? I would like to know. Anyways, see you next time. Bye! Oh, and make sure to study and do your homework. Don't forget that. Okay, bye-bye.